Happy New Year. I haven't made a video since earlier this week. Forgot what day it was. But this is my first day, which is January 3rd, 2016. This is my first day off my fast, and I am so excited. Oh, my thoughts about the whole experience is I look back to, when I first decided to incorporate more raw foods into my diet. And then I look at how I transitioned from, you know, fasting, transitioned into, fasting, which I never did until 2015. And I look at how I intentionally fast, um, going into like um, going into the fall equinox and the winter solstice. And I just see how I learned different things from each, 4 weeks that I, did it or whatever, or for each time I fast. When I first did fast, it was like for 3 days, and I did like smoothies and 1 week water, for during the weekend. But it's just a wonderful experience because I feel like I learned more about myself on a mental, spiritual, and emotional level. And I appreciate food so much more each time. And I learn my body so much more each time. I did what I call a bad habit. when Because I'm normally at work today, which is Sunday. Normally that's my Monday, but I took today off because I feel like it's important to take time off. You just need time for yourself, and hopefully next week I will be off too. But that's what happens when you work a 9 to 5. You have to, put in the time and see if it comes back to approve. But but yeah, so I went to run an errand with my husband. We went to Jersey real quick, and we were out later. Normally I'm in the house. Normally I'm like ready to go to bed, but I was actually out, and I was like, let's go ahead and just go to Wegmans, which is, to me, it's new. It's new here in Delaware where we're at. It's just opened up, and the thing that I like about it is that it's 24 hours. I do like that, and they do have like organic options. However, it's not my favorite place to go. Everybody raves about it. I remember when I was visiting my mom, and um, she had came from down south to to the DC area, and me and my sister met up with her. This was back in like fall 2014, and she talked about how she raved about Wegmans. I was like, no, I never heard of it. She was like, I love that place. They have so much fresh. And you know what? I can see why a lot of people will love it because it has everything in there. They have so much stuff, and they do a lot of stuff in house. A lot of in house stuff that they sell. So I can understand why a lot of people like that place because you can get stuff to go to eat at home. They have a variety of stuff, and it's at a decent price. Compared to places like Whole Foods or um, even Trader Joe's. Well, Trader Joe's is, to me, the prices are fair. I don't know. But I could definitely understand compared to Whole Foods if you like organic, their stuff may be a little cheaper. However, I personally, because I went in there while it was nobody, since it's 24 hours, we were in there later. And I went in there because I was like, I don't feel like going anywhere. I hate shopping. I do not like going to the grocery store, especially when there's a lot of people in there. Going into stores makes me anxious. So, so it was better that we went. It was later in the evening. Nobody was really in there, which was great, which was excellent. And so I was able to navigate things a little bit easier because in Whole Foods, normally, or like even Trader Joe's, normally the organic stuff is like all like you could find everything you need. You will find it easily. Here at Wegmans, everything is it's all spread out, and they don't have all their, they have organic, they'll have like a section that's labeled organic, but they'll have like their organic lettuce over here, and their organic greens and peppers and stuff over here, and then they'll have like some more packaged organic stuff over there, and then they'll have like, it's just their organic stuff is spread out all over the place, and I hate that. I don't like that, and I don't like how um, they have way. Don't get me wrong, they have a lot of stuff in that store, and I'm sure most people love it. But for me personally, their prices are probably more decent. I really didn't see a difference because we got nothing but organic stuff. But I will say maybe their frozen, like stuff that's not in season, like their frozen organic fruit, probably is cheaper. So that's something I probably would get. I'm gonna check back at Whole Foods, see, because I would definitely go get their frozen leaf, like their frozen mangoes and stuff. But the thing is, they had like a lot of unique, cool fruit that I would like to try, but a lot of it's not organic, so I'm not gonna get it. Like, so there's, it's okay. Me personally, I don't mind spending extra money for food. That's why I probably where most of, if I spend most of my money on things that will benefit me in the sense of like my mind, body, and spirit. We spend most of our money on food or books, food, books, like, like supplements, like the detox stuff, stuff for your skin, and, things like that, like, you know, to me, things that will benefit me on a holistic level. So that's what I spend most of my money on, and food is a big chunk of that, and I'd rather spend money on that. Um, and I was watching OK Raw. He's on YouTube. He's a raw foodist, and he's been a raw foodist for a long time. And he had a video on the 6 reasons why people do stop being raw. I like his videos. His videos are awesome, and he brought up the fact that he says a valid reason that it's expensive um, to eat, raw, at times, which is definitely understandable. That's why I feel like I learned how to shop better when I changed my diet, because you have to, you know, if you just look at it from the surface, it does seem more expensive, but I feel like the long-term effects of it, you know, of your health and getting it better, because I still have things I need to work on health wise. However, I know that by changing my diet, I have definitely extended my life, even though there's so much, you know, work that I need to do. I've eaten, you know, any and everything for 27 years. In the last 3 years, I've been eating, healthier. I'm 30 years old now. So, with that being said, that's a long time to, eat a certain way, So, I definitely have. I feel like, and that's why, some people may say that, oh, you're eating a lot of raw food, you eating raw, you're going to eat this forever. I'm like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like in my spirit, this is what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Like, it's more than just the food. It's more than just health. It's just like, I just feel it in my spirit that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel like the work that I'm going to be doing, I need to be, present and focused. And there's just a certain, there's something about eating this way that I feel like is extremely important for me right now. Extremely important for me right now. But back to what I was saying about the food, I really got sidetracked. I was supposed to be talking about my fast, but I definitely appreciate food. But the point I'm trying to make is that we went to Wegmans, and and we bought some stuff, and because I don't feel like going out to shop today. So my husband was like, well, he's going to eat some salad. He's going to eat a salad because he's hungry. And I'm thinking to myself, it's late. I always get on him about eating late. Because I know how it does. And maybe it doesn't have an effect on him like it does on me, but my body is extremely sensitive, and I feel like like when you are really into like spiritual, like when you're really like into spirituality and you're very sensitive to your surroundings, and you are eating foods that are high in that are very connected to the earth, you are very sensitive. Like your body is just extremely sensitive to that stuff. So for me, like eating late is a no, because I feel it. It's like no. I'm like, you shouldn't be doing that. I was like, no. I was like, but of course he's gonna eat or whatever like that. But then I was like, hold on, it's close to midnight. And I'm thinking in my mind, I normally I would just be sleeping right now, or I wouldn't be eating, regardless. I might drink some water. I was like, it's close to midnight, and I'm almost off my fast, and I'm so excited about getting off my fast. And he was like, yeah, I could make you a salad too. I was like, okay. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get me a salad at midnight. By the time you get home and you get finished making the salad, it'll be midnight, and that's exactly what happened. I end up eating me a salad at midnight, which is something that I would not do, and I have learned that just does not benefit me, because I don't. My stomach, I get nauseous. My stomach, feels funny. It just, you don't sleep as well or whatever. And it's very true, because I woke up today and I felt funny. That funny, because I know it was my body. Even though the food was light, it was very light. All I had was a salad. It was just, I can't do that. Even though he may be able to do that and not have any effects, I can't do that, because my stomach, uh, and it was very light, and it was good coming down. I was fine. I could tell that because my body has been resting, that it's digesting. I felt it going. I felt everything. I felt the food going down. I felt it breaking down, and my bowels moved. So I knew that what I was eating was fine. It was just that I did not need to eat it late. So that's something I always keep in mind. But it's funny, because when I drink, I admit I have drunken smoothies later. But smoothies are different, because it's like, it's just liquid and it's going down. But even that, you have to be careful depending on what combinations. Because for me, when I'm doing like that banana hemp seed mixture at night, late at night, I eat banana hemp, that milky kind of, that milky kind of um, um, smoothie is not what's up. But yeah, so I did my right when I broke my fast, I did a big no. I ate late, and I don't need to be doing that, because I feel a certain way when I eat late like that. No. So yeah. So because of that, because I ate so late, I will not be sure. I'm not going to be eating until like noon, because my body doesn't feel like I'm just drinking some water. I probably ain't gonna eat nothing until like noon. I just don't know. So, but this fasting experience, like I said, I always learn something new. And it's funny, because ever since I've been on this not raw, but ever since I've been on this vegan journey, my face has been giving me, it's like when I ate any and everything, my face was crystal clear. No acne, no nothing. But the first thing, when I went on the Mirena, which is a IUD for birth control, I went on that in 2010, which I would not recommend anyone. If you cannot be on birth control, don't be on birth control, women, ladies out there. Don't be on birth control. If there's ways you can, birth control, no. Because it's just not, to me, it's not meant for our bodies that's too much on our bodies. No. My experiences with the birth control is that I didn't have major um, side effects, but I definitely had side effects to let me know that this birth control is not natural, and my hormones are out of balance, and it takes a while for my hormones to get back in balance. That IUD had definitely more than of an effect on me than I realized, because that's when my skin started breaking out. That my skin started breaking out more during that time period, and my hair started thinning around that time period as time progressed. And I was like, at the time, I was like, what's going on? And then, like, looking back on it, when I started really getting into um, a healthier lifestyle, I said it had to been that IUD. And I knew my body didn't want it because it actually, like, came out on its own. I was freaked out. And I immediately made an appointment. Yeah, so I knew that, like, that the foreign objects are not meant to be in your uterus. No, that's just not what's up. And I feel like ever since that, and once I had that out of my body, my skin broke out even more. So I knew that my hormones were out of balance. Then on top of that, around that time period, it was ironic that my body ejected a foreign object out of itself. During that time, I was eating vegan. I had started eating vegan. I probably was vegan for maybe 6 months or so. So, and that's just funny how that happened. I think that was just my body like, nope, you don't need this in you. No. Some women can have used that for years and been fine. My body was like, no, you don't need that. And ever since then, I feel like my hormones have been trying to get back into balance slowly but surely. And so I feel like my skin has never been as clear as it was prior to that or whatever. And I know that, everybody has their own symptoms when they're going through detox. Mine is, it comes out through my skin. Like when I started eating raw and I was doing and I started using bentonite clay on my skin, and I started to do the full body detox for the first time. I started getting this, you know how the liver, when your liver is detoxing, like I started getting the dark circles around my eyes, and then like on this side of my skin, it was sore for a while. It was like my body, I could tell that my body detoxed through my skin or whatever, and that to make sure I drink a lot of water. That's why I'm trying to be in the habit of drinking water a lot. But yeah, so, but it's interesting that my face has been breaking out in between during the detox has been breaking out or whatever, and then clearing up a little bit, but then breaking out. But today it's clear. It's clear, way more clear. I didn't like do my bentonite clay treatments or anything like that yet, but you know, I kind of just washed my face with water really quick. I kind of just hopped on the video. Um, but yeah, my face has cleared up all of a sudden, but I don't take the way my skin is, it can be really funny. One day it'd be clear, and then the next minute it breaks out, and then it goes to. In the summertime, it was like glowing, absolutely glowing, or whatever. After it went through that phase of like with the liver, the dark spots around my eyes. I was like, I never experienced this before. I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Or whatever. But then after that, after, maybe a month or so, my husband was like, your face is glowing. Like, it's really glowing. It's clearing up. And I'm like, it is? Because I'm so fixated on the dark circles. I'm like, it is? It's like, yeah. And then eventually I saw that it was glowing. But yeah. But that's one of my detox symptoms or whatever. And my body is just very sensitive. Like, I just feel things. So for me, no late nights. I really can't do that, often. If I know that I'm not gonna always, follow the protocol or whatever like that. I just feel like we do what we do. I feel like you can't not, beat ourselves up when we do something that we don't normally do, that we know is not best for us because we know our bodies or whatever. But I feel like don't beat yourself up about it either. But it's a reminder, actually it's humbling. It's a reminder, okay, your body can't handle that. So it'll be I'm gonna be making sure that I drink my water, and make sure that I don't eat late. Like that's super late. But it was midnight. But it was late or whatever. And I will not what else will I'm gonna do? I appreciate food so much. I just really appreciate it. And I think, and it's interesting, I've been watching The Mind of a Chef. It's a documentary with, I think his name, Anthony Bourdain is like a producer or something like that. I hope I said his name right. But he is awesome. You could tell that he loves food and he loves travel. He's narrating this document, this series, but it's like different chefs. They kind of, they prepare different foods, and they bring a little bit of their culture, how they grew up, to each episode or whatever. And my favorite one is the guy who lives in Charleston, but he's from Virginia. He grew up in the South. He's a Southerner, and his. I love his when he does his episodes, because he really takes it back to the South. He goes to the Low Country, which is like Savannah, South Carolina, or whatever like that. He does a lot of the videos about that, and it brings me back. It reminds me of growing up in the South, and I just really like that. And it gives you a perspective that just because it's Southern, that is not necessarily, there's a way you have to prepare food, and I think that's the biggest thing. It's not about, oh, are you eating meat or are you not eating meat. It's more so about how are you preparing this food. How are you treating, if you are eating meat, how are you treating the animals, like before they are used for eating. It's like a whole process. I remember one episode, it was about barbecue, and it was in I know it was in the Low Country. I don't know if it was Savannah, Georgia or South Carolina. It was one of those, but the scenery reminded me of South Carolina or Savannah. Like it was, I'm sure it was South Carolina, but it was they did an episode on barbecue, and it started from the beginning. It had a woman, and her family, I guess, they raised pigs, and she treated her pigs, even though they use those pigs and they eat them, she treated her pigs like they were children. They had names and everything. She was just very gentle and sweet with her pigs. She took care of them. They ate. They didn't eat any and everything. You know how you watch stuff like Food Inc. and all those other like documentaries, and they just how they treat those animals is just horrible. But the way she treats those animals were very gentle, sweet, like children. Like that's how she treated them, despite the fact that they, ate them. But it just brought a different perspective to me about how you prepare the food. So I don't know. They didn't show they didn't show the part where they actually, what they do when they kill the pig. I don't know the process, or if they wait till the pig is old. I don't know what they do. But they already had a pig that was, I guess, skinned and everything like that and ready to be cooked. And then they had the chef was friends with a black guy who barbecued all his life. Was passed on generation to generation. That's another thing that I like, is that they show how a lot of these methods was passed on from family member to family member, which is amazing to me, this legacy. But he has a method in barbecuing, and it's like slow cooking, and it's not like he used the stuff that you get from the grocery store to barbecue, like those charcoal things that is not healthy at all. But he used logs that he cut from the woods, like tree logs that he cut from the woods, and he burned the fire. He made a fire and burned it, and they slow cooked the pig. You know what I'm saying? Which to me, you know, it's just a different, it's just different. The way they prepared it was just different compared to, the fast way of making food or whatever. It had intentions with it. It was very like intentional. And the thing that stood out to me is when the chef and the guy that barbecues was like, when they were cooking the pig, cooking the pig and putting the barbecue and stuff on it. And they were trying it. They were like, well, you could tell that this pig was had a lot of love. There's a lot of love, like this is and that to me that's kind of that stood out a little bit. I was like, that really, when you think about it, it's not about, oh, don't eat this and don't eat that, because now that's definitely important, but realistically, not everybody's gonna eat all meat or all potatoes. Not everybody's going to eat all raw or vegan or whatever like that. You do what works for you in your lifestyle, but it's all about the intentions behind how you make your food and the love and the energy, and appreciating every step and every process. And that to me is so deep. It is extremely deep, 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 or whatever. I really, that stood out to me. And then at the end, I'm going through, this video is already long, but at the end, they was like, they talked about the chef and the barbecue, the guy that was barbecuing. They talked about how it's awesome that we are able to prepare this meal for the people that raised this pig. To me, that was deep. I don't know. That's just deep to me. And you think about, people back in the day and ancestors and things of that nature, and how they, you know, how they work together um, get the food to eat, and how much of a process that is or whatever, and how a lot of times they didn't waste anything. Like when they killed an animal, they used every single part. And the thing I like about this chef, I forgot his name, I feel bad, but he went to Africa. He went to Senegal. That was my favorite episode, when he went to Senegal, because he was like, he said this trip was really big for him because he sees a lot of the correlation of Southern cooking and how a lot of the roots come from West Africa. And he said, he was in Senegal, and he was looking at the rice, and he said, this rice is like very similar to the Carolina rice, and clearly that rice came from Africa, and and is now very popular in South Carolina, and it's called Carolina rice or whatever. So to me, that's really deep, and I think that's why I have a heartfelt. I have like despite the fact that there's things about Southern cuisine that I will not have anymore, because it's just not, to me, it's just not healthy. However, I still have like a deep, I have a, like a, it's just, there's just a sentimental thing that I have about Southern cooking, because I know that the roots come from West Africa or whatever. And also it reminds me of growing up, in the South or whatever. And there's just a way to prepare your food. I think that's the biggest thing. And to try to use products that are organic and connected to nature. That's the biggest thing, is to not get wrapped up into the quick convenience of cooking things fast. It's just I just have a newfound appreciation for the way that people prepare their food, regardless of what your preference is and how you eat or whatever. I just appreciate food more, if that makes any sense. And it's very long-winded, but there's a lot more that I want to share. But my appreciation for food is definitely on another level now. I definitely want to continue to drink more water. I don't need to eat late. I learned that. I just got another reminder not to eat late. Eat until I'm satisfied. Don't ever overeat, because you can overeat regardless of where you are on your life, on your healthy eating journey or whatever. But another thing, what else stood out to me on this fast? Um, it's just, I feel like I just got another reminder that what I'm doing is for a reason, and that sometimes you kind of question yourself, like, is this too extreme? Is what I'm doing too extreme? And I'm learning that we are all learning on our own path, and we're doing what we intuitively need to do. Well, for me, I'm doing what I intuitively need to do, and to listen to myself or whatever. And that is very important for me to do this, you know, at least 4 times a year. And it makes me excited about, it makes me see, I feel like like when you're fasting and you're not eating the things that you're normally eating, it makes you more creative and like thinking about, oh, when I get off this fast, I'm going to make this and this and this. And also, I tend to pick up on habits that I may have not did before. Like I mentioned, that I'm going to make more raw soups. And now I'm inspired by watching The Mind Chef. I am inspired to The Mind of a Chef, I think, to make, like, I want to make raw vegan gumbo. I want to make it so bad. And I want to use cauliflower as the rice. And then, of course, gumbo, it's like a tomato base. And you just put like okra, or you could put corn. Of course, you got to have okra or corn or whatever, like, then, other little vegetables or whatever. And season it to your liking. It just inspires me that, to, tap into that. And that it's just so creative. Like, and it makes you creative on all levels, eating food. I mean, looking at food from that kind of angle, not eating food, but, you know, it just, I feel like it just taps more to your creative side. And I feel like have a lot of ideas and doing a lot of brainstorming. Now, this year is the year of 9 for me. Well, universally, it's the year 9 in numerology, and my personal year is 9, so it's a year of ending and completion. So I have to keep that in the back of my mind also. But it's just a lot of things that I've been doing lately that I hadn't been doing before, that will help me on my path to my purpose. But that's all I'm going to say for now. I'm going to make another video because this one has already been long. And thank you so much for watching. And I'm just so excited to be, this is my first day off the fast. Oh, that's so funny. In a way, I kind of, when I was thinking about it, I was so eager to get off the fast, but now I wish. Now I kind of, I appreciate, taking that break from eating, just eating, because it puts things in perspective on all levels or whatever. So it's like, even though I'm going to be eating solid foods again, I'm definitely going to be incorporating. I hadn't did it the whole time, but I want to really juice something, you know, get that concentrated nutrients or whatever. But thank you all for watching, and I will be back soon.